A relation is a set of ordered pairs. A function is a relation that assigns exactly one output range value for each input domain value. So there's exactly one for each x value. One way you can tell if a relation is a function is by making a mapping diagram. When you make a mapping diagram, you're going to list the domain values and the range values in order in their own boxes, and then draw arrows from the domain values to their range values. My x's and my y's. So I have 11, 12, 13, and 20. My y's, -2, -2, -1, and 7. Okay, so now we're going to use arrows to draw from our domains to our range. So 11 goes with 2. Really, these should have their own boxes. 11 goes with -2, 12 goes with -1, 13 goes with -2, and 20 goes with 7. Oh man, I can't have duplicates. So I'll just scribble it out. There. So going back to the original question, is this example a function? The answer is yes, because each domain, so each input, has exactly one and only one output value. So this is a function. Let's take a look at the next example. So your points are given, and I'd like you to pause the video and write down your input and output values into a mapping diagram, and then draw your arrows and decide whether this is a function or not. So this should be what your mapping diagram started to look like, and then we can put 4 to 3, 2 to -1, -3 to -3, and then I also have 2 to 4. So you should see, because of this value here, I have two inputs at 2 but different output values, so this would not be a function. This is not a function. This is your vertical line test definition. Please write it down in your notes. Push pause. So in this next example, we are going to see if a function by using a vertical line test. So the first thing we got to do is graph your coordinates onto a coordinate plane. So graph your ordered pairs here onto a coordinate plane. Do that. You should check, and your ordered pairs should match up here. Next, you're going to take your pencil and pass it through and see if there are more than one spot that this pencil goes through at any given time. So if we'd put the pencil through here, it only hits the one spot right here, so it works so far. As you see, as you're going through, there's only one line here, here, and here. So this does pass the vertical line test, which means it is a function. Now we are going to evaluate functions. So it is going to be important that you understand your input, which is your x value, is your input. Your rule is going to be your function, and then x is going to be your y, or f of x is going to be your output value. Please fill this in on your diagram in your notes, and also copy this table down as well. This next example you can follow through in your notes as well. We are going to make a table for this function using these input 1, 2, 3, and 4 values to find my output. Go ahead and create that, fill in your table, and check it when you're done. Okay, so you should have taken your n values, plugged them in whenever you saw an n into your function rule, and you would kick out 5, -1, -11, and 25. So these are my input values, these are my output values. So the last part of today's lesson is evaluating the function rule to find the range values. So your domain is given, which are the numbers right here, and just like before, think of that machine. Input, we're going to input these values into our rule, and then we will kick out our output, which output is going to be your range. If it helps, create the table. Otherwise, you can plug them in as I put in the notes below. So first thing was f of g. Okay, so we got our f of g equals -2g plus 4. My first value is -1, so I'm going to plug -1 in for g, and then wherever I see a g, I am going to plug it in. -2 times -1 is +2 plus 4. It's going to give me 6. So my input was -1, output was 6. Your next example is f of g. It's the same rule, same function rule, so you could rewrite that. And then g, the next value is g to equal 3. So plug in your g value of 3 whenever you see it. So -2 times 3 is -6. Oh, 6. And I will let you finish this and finish our third value as well. When you're done, you'll be able to fill in the range by using these 3 values. So complete these and push pause to finish. Should be your values. You should have f of 1 we did together, which was 6. When you had f of 3, you got -2, and f of 5 was -6. So the range value, you use your brackets, braces, whatever you'd like to call them, 6, -2, and -6. This is your range. Now you can work on your practice problems.